So for number one, it says James made $50 washing cars. He spent 30% of it on CDs. How much did he spend on CDs? So first of all, we need to know what we're talking about. We have $50. Now, whenever we're dealing with proportions, we're either dealing with parts of stuff or the whole amount of something. Now, let me ask you this. If he's spending some of this money on CDs, then does that mean that $50 is part of what he's spending, or $50 is the whole thing he has to spend? Is it the part or is it the whole? It's the whole amount. So that means this whole bar has to equal $50. So go ahead and mark that on the bottom. Go ahead and mark that on the bottom. Because whenever I write, you need to write also. You don't have to ask me permission to wear your glasses, Andy.
Meaning the other side would be $0.
Very good. And just like Tristan said, if we have no part of the bar, then we have $0. Now, we need to get to 30%. So what's an easy way to divide up this percent bar so we can get 30%? Tristan? By fives. If I divide it by fives, that give me 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I want to get to 30 a little easier. I could, but it's not going to be as easy. What do you think, Victor? By tens. Is that what you're going to say? If I do by threes, then I get 33, 66, 99, and I want not 33, but 30%. So that would have been too big. So let's go ahead and divide it into 10 pieces. I will cut it in half down the middle, and that's 1% on each side. If I cut it in half down the middle. 50% right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and divide this into 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines makes 5 sections. And same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines makes 5 sections. So Xavier, I see that you've done this already as you write it down. Let me go ahead and ask, what percent is each bar? If I have 10 bars, what percent is inside each bar then? What is it? 10%. So let's go ahead and label that. 10%, 20%, 3 bars would be 30%, 4 bars would be 40%, 5 bars is what percent?
50.
I mean, if I had 6 bars, what percent would I have? What do you think?
60.
Huh?
60, yeah.
Abia, what do you think? If 5 bars is 50%, 6 bars is, what do you think? What's 6 times 10? 60%, very good. 7 bars would be 70%, 8 bars would be 80%, and 9 bars would be 90%. So how many bars total, 12, did I divide this into? How many bars? 10 bars. Andy, how would I figure out how much money is in each bar? If all these pieces together has to equal $50, how would I figure out how much is inside each one of these little sections? What do you think I should do? Divide, very good. So I'm going to divide how much? 50 by how many bars? 10 bars, very good. So either on your paper somewhere or with maybe your device, let's go ahead and divide 50 by 10. I think most of us know this. Abraham, what's 50 divided by 10? 5. 5 what? What are we measuring? 5 what? Dollars, very good. So, excuse me, so Caesar, in a talking mood back there. If I have 1 bar, then I have how many dollars? Uh-huh. If I have 2 bars? 3? Finish the whole thing. Uh-huh. Very good. Nicely done. So let me ask Ariana then. What percent are we concerned of looking at? I have so many Arianas in here. 30%, thank you. The original Ariana, not her clone. Now, Ariana, if 30% is right here, how many of those bars is that? Huh? 3, and what's my total amount then? If I have 3 bars. Huh? 30% is how much, how many dollars?
Oh.
It's okay. $15. So we think our answer is $15. Did anyone try this last night and get that answer? Anyone? Andy, you did? Oh, you did? I have 1, 2, potentially. All right, now, I told you to wait for the proportion part, and we're going to do that right now. So it is pretty easy, so let's go ahead and follow along.
I don't do nothing.
Let's go ahead and take this box and cut it in half really quick, like that. Here's our formula we're going to use. Part over whole equals percent over 100. I told you, and I'm glad you're writing this down, Xavier. I'm glad you're writing that part down. That helps me a lot. Make sure you, if you don't understand what I'm saying, write this down right now. Thank you. The part over the whole equals a percent out of 100. In all these problems, they're either giving you two of these three things. They're either giving you a percent, a part, or a whole amount. Now we have two numbers already here. Is there one that you know right away and that you can tell automatically what it is?
30%.
But which one?
30%.
The 30% because it has a percent symbol. Percents mean out of 100. So whenever you have a percent, it's always going to be over the 100.
30 out of
So
100?
it's going to be, in this case, exactly 30 out of 100. Now we need at least one more number. They give us the 50, but I need to know, is 50 going to be the part of the bar that we're using, or is 50 the whole bar? And let me ask Kevin this question now, because he's an eager beaver to answer. Is $50 part what we're spending, or is it the whole amount that we have? It's the whole amount. So would that be on the top or on the bottom? Bottom, very good. So we'll put 50 down here. So we don't know the part. When we don't know something, we use the letter X. Now, Chris, I have to cross multiply like this diagonally, but I can only do that if I have two numbers. So, if I did 100 times X, do I have two numbers there?
No.
So then what two numbers could I cross multiply?
You could multiply 30 by
All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's do 50 times 30. And what's 5 times 3? How many zeros are in this problem? So I put 2 zeros there. And then, and for instance, perfect, you said it, we're going to divide by whatever number's left over. What's the only number I have here? So we divide by 100. Now I could do the whole division house and do all that, but there's also a trick. Does anyone know it? First period, New Enrollment, what is it?
Take out the zero.
So how many zeros can I take away from the top and the bottom?
14.
I take 4 up here,
No, 2.
2 from the top and the bottom. When I do that, I'm left with what number?
15.
15 over,
1 home.
which equals what? Is that what we said our answer should be? Then we know we did it right. The proportion checks our work. So go ahead and reflect on that for a second.
That makes sense.
I'll pause the recording.
Oh, Mister, for number 7, I already
Great, and then follow along. So number 7 says, actually I'm going to ask Kevin to read it for us nice and loud. So Kevin, read number 7 for us. Excuse me, I can't. Stop really quick. Claudia and Tristan, just whatever's going on, I don't care, we're done. Don't talk to each other then, it's that much easier. All right, so Kevin, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sarah wants to save 20% of the 100. How much money does Sarah want to save?
Very good, thank you very much. So she wants to save 20%. Now, I need to somehow break up this bar so I can get to 20% pretty easily. Now, does anyone have the what?
It's almost like going just.
Almost. Anyone have any suggestions? Xavier.
Breaking into 50, that means like 10 cents.
I like what you said before, not 50 is, but break it into how many pieces? Into fifths, or into 5 pieces. Let's do that. Very good. It's okay. The fact that you thought it is a victory enough. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Would you just wait 1 second? Thank you. All right. So by breaking into 5 pieces, how much is each piece worth then? What percent? Tristan. So 50%, 100%, 150%, 250%. That equals 100%. I asked you how much percent. Really said 50%.
I said 50% because I already jumped ahead.
My question was, how much is each block worth in percent? Claudia. 20%. This is 20%. This is 40%. This is 60%. This would be 80%. And then finally we have 100%. Now, if the whole bar is 100%, we need to figure out how does this $150 figure into it. There's always a part, there's always a whole. If Sarah is going to be saving money, is she saving part of her money, or is she saving the entire amount?
Entire.
She's saving her all of it she has?
No.
Saving part. What part is she saving? 20%. So is the 150 the amount she's saving away, or is that the amount she has total to spend or to use? Total. So that's the whole amount, the total. So this is equal to $150, the whole bar. And then if we have none of it, then that would be $0 over here. Well, we broke this bar into 5 equal pieces. How much money is in each little segment here? How would I figure that out? Divide what?
150 by
Divided by what?
20.
So there's 20 boxes here?
No, I mean 5.
By 5, because there's 5 boxes.
Oh, wait. That's 30.
Verify for me, please, Andy.
Wait, what?
30. 30 what? $30. $30. So one box is $30. If I have 2 of these boxes, how much do I have? And then 90, and then 120, and then now, what percent are we concerned with, Amanda? In this whole problem, Sarah is only concerned about what percent? What percent? It tells us in the problem. Is she concerned about? 20%. So here's 20%, Amanda. How much money is 20% worth? Say it, Amanda. What is it? 30 what? $30. So we believe our answer is $30.
Just what I got.
Xavier, yes.
That's what I got.
30? I messed up 30? 150? This one? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100? Inside the square?
Yes.
$30, $60, 90, it's a messed up 9, 120, and then 150. Counting by 3s, basically. All right, so let's do the proportion. The equation is part over whole equals percent out of 100. And we need at least 2 of those 3 symbols. What's one of the things we're given? 20%, so where's that going to go? Of the
100.
the 100, because percents always go on out of 100, as a percent means. So now I need either the part or the whole. The $150, is that measuring part of the bar or the whole bar?
The whole
So is that going to go numerator or denominator?
denominator.
So then I don't know the numerator. Chris, you helped us last time. What am I going to do to solve this mathematically?
Cross multiply.
What numbers can I cross multiply?
20 and 150.
So what is that? Well, what's 15 times 2?
30.
30. And then how many zeros are involved in these numbers over here?
200.
So there's 2 more zeros there. So 3,000.
And then
What's next?
Divided by 2.
Divided by 2. There is no 2 over here anywhere.
By 100.
Divided by 100. The number that's left over.
30. I got that.
Roman, I need your help. Your math expertise once again. What can I do to make this division a lot easier on my life? How many can I take out?
30.
2 from the top and bottom. And I'm left with what?
30.
Over, which is just
30.
30. So the answer says it should be.
There, look. Yeah. I got it all.
You, Amanda.
Me.
Aw. All right, here we go. You guys know it is recording, right? All right, so here's the story. It says, a certain tablet, like a pill, contains 120% of the daily recommended requirement, right, Kevin? The daily recommended requirement of a necessary mineral. If the daily recommended requirement is 60 milligrams, how much of the mineral does the tablet contain? If you have 120%, do you have more than the usual or less?
More.
Let's see, the full amount would be what percent? The normal amount would be 100%. So if you have 120%, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be more. Well, maybe not overdose, but more than what they recommend. So think about that then for this problem. If 100% is the normal amount that she would have, then how many milligrams is that going to be? According to the words in here, it says, if the daily recommended requirement, that's what the doctors think you should have normally. So then 100% is how many milligrams? 60 milligrams. So the whole bar is 60 milligrams. That's what a normal amount would be. Good job, Adrian. You have it all done. Nice. So we have 60 milligrams for the whole bar. So we'll go ahead and mark that on the bottom. Very good. Now, we need to break this down so we can get numbers that'll get us to 120%. So let me ask Jeremiah, how should I cut this bar so I can get numbers that'll get me to 120?
10.
I can do 10s. Is there anything easier?
20?
5s would be more pieces.
15.
15s will go to 120 very easily.
6.
Alberto, what do you think? Help them out. We can do 10s. Is there anything a little easier, Roman? 20s. I can divide it into 20% pieces. Save yourself. If I divide this into 20% pieces, how many pieces will I have? How many pieces would I need if each one's worth 20%? Just 3, so 20, 40, 60, that's 100?
5.
5 pieces, thank you, Jeremiah. So, once again, we'll divide it into 5 equal pieces. Recording you.
Wait, was your roomie get 6? You know?
Hold on. So, each piece is 1% right now. 20%, so label it. 20, 40, 60, 80%. Now, I divided into how many boxes, Jeremiah? How many pieces I divided into?
5.
5. So if I have 60 milligrams total, how many milligrams are in each piece? How would I figure that out? Well, I don't want about, I want exactly. So how would I do it mathematically?
Divide.
Divide what by what?
The 5 by 60.
Other way around. Say it backwards.
60 by 5.
There we go. Divide 60 by 5. 5 goes into 6 how many times?
Once.
Once. 5 goes into 6 one time. With 1 left over. 5 goes into 10. So each box has what? 12 milligrams. So one box, 20% is 12 milligrams. 2 boxes, 40% is 24. 36.
48.
48. And the whole pill? So the whole recommended, normal recommended is 60. That's good, but Tristan's already bothered because do we care about 100%? What do we want, Tristan? How would I show that with this picture then?
Go 6 boxes.
So add one more box of what percent?
Of 20%.
So now I'm at 1% at the end. 120%. And what would my next milligram amount be then? I went 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Add 12 more, 72 milligrams. So, how much does the super tablet contain? Okay, because here's the reason why. That's a good question. Why did I added a box? Because before I added this box, what percent did I have?
100.
But what percent do I want?
120.
What does it say right here in the problem?
Oh, sorry. 124.
Right, so I need to go more, that's why. And since I was already counting by 20s, I had 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100%, and then 20 more gives me 120%, which is the percent I wanted. Now we think we have the answer, we're going to prove it with the proportion. Let's go ahead and start writing that now. The part over the whole equals the percent out of 100. Chris, help me out. What pieces go where? What pieces go where? I know I have 100 here because that's always with the percent. Do I have a percent in this problem anywhere?
Yes.
Yes.
120.
So where did that 120 go?
Underneath
Underneath?
the point.
Over.
No, I got over it.
Over the what?
The 100.
Thank you. So 120 goes right here. It doesn't matter if it's more than 100%. It always goes with the 100 because percent means 100. Claudia, help me out.
X over 60.
Why?
Because we have 60 and then we don't know the top.
You're right. 60 is the normal amount, but we're going above the normal.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some new amount that's going to have to be bigger than 60. Mathematically, Chris, help us out again. How am I going to solve this?
Cross multiply with 20 and 60 because those are the numbers that I have to work.
So 120 times 60.
Wait, was it? Trying to get it.
What is that? 120 times 60. Andy, it's perfect for you to help us out. Andy, what's 120 times 60?
Times.
120 times 60.
Oh, that was
7,200. I know.
Say it. What is it, Andy? 7,200. Chris, what do I have to do?
Divide the 100 by.
Divide.
No, I'm sorry.
Say it correctly.
Divide
Divide
72,000
72,000
7,000
by
100.
Roman. I need your help again. What do I do here?
You can take out 2 zeros.
I can take out 2 zeros. Leave me with what?
72.
72 over
100. 1.
over 1.
Never mind.
Then we end up with 72. Is that what we wanted?
Yeah.
Yes. So we know we did it correctly.